It's been a roller coaster of a year for DC's Ballou Senior High School in Southeast. Last year, the school celebrated having every one of its seniors graduating and being accepted into college. Well, that story has taken an interesting twist, to say the least. We now know that half of the graduates missed more than 3 months of the school year last year, unexcused. There was a hearing before the D.C. Council. Many came away convinced that this problem spans more than just Ballou Senior High School. Joining me right now, D.C. Councilman at large Robert White, at large meaning that he represents the whole city. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You were there for that hearing.
Yes.
You heard what was said. What did you take away? Is it bigger than Ballou?
It's much bigger than Ballou. We heard from teachers from DCPS, former DCPS teachers, and now an outpouring of things from teachers across the country saying this is happening in every school. So it's unfortunate that Ballou was highlighted in this, but the district does have a responsibility to respond in the way that we know it is bigger than one school.
What is happening beyond Ballou when we say this is happening? What exactly are we talking about?
It's pressures on teachers because of the way that they are evaluated to pass students who aren't quite prepared. It's high school teachers getting students who fell behind in first grade and struggling to figure out, well, do I hold this person back? And if I hold them back, will they ever catch up? And so what do I do? And so I think they're faced with a very tough choice, and the school system hasn't given them the proper tools to figure out how to evaluate that.
And I imagine if you're the teacher who's holding a lot of students back, they're going to start looking at you. There's something wrong with you.
That's right. You are affected. Your ability to earn income, to get bonuses, to excel in your career is affected if you don't pass a certain percentage of students.
What's really troubling about this is that so we're passing kids along who really think they're ready to graduate, who think they're ready to enter the world of work, they're ready for college, and then they get slapped with reality when they get there.
And the real world will slap you. And we want to pass our students, but we want them to succeed in the real world. And so we have to take that responsibility seriously, and I think start to focus a lot more on what kids we're passing in the earlier grades and what more services they need in order to get them up to grade level.
Now, you can imagine people, Chancellor and others, are saying, well, it's easy to sit here and say we've got a problem. I mean, where do we zero in? I mean, what would you suggest we do at this point when you've got all these kids in the pipeline already in classes and they're behind and they're being moved along? What do you do?
Well, I think we have to come up with a comprehensive strategy to understand what we want to see from our students and how we prepare our younger students who are coming up the pipeline. But for those who are already in junior high school or high school, we have to make a plan, whether it's extended school days or summer school, whatever it takes. We have to prepare these kids, because at the end of the day, when they go out into this world, that DCPS diploma or that charter school diploma has to mean something.
We got a lot of kids who are now applying for DC Community College. Would that be a spot where, hold it right here, you start giving them all the remedial skills and services that they need, fund the community college, for whatever it takes? Would that be a solution?
It's something we have to do. And I think UDC has some serious success stories for students who came from DCPS, who took remedial classes and who turned out to be phenomenal in their careers. So we have to make sure that UDC is prepared to do that.
We've got preschool. Kids are starting now, 3 years of age? In DC?
Universal pre-K, that's
okay.
right.
Okay, that's a good place to start, but you got those already in the system and been in the system for a while.
That's right, and I introduced an early childhood development bill to make sure we get more of our younger kids, even before age 3, when that core brain development is at rapid speed, that we are educating them then. And if we miss that opportunity, we can never get it back.
Somebody said if you start at 3, you're already too late.
That's right.
Thanks a lot for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Let's continue this conversation.